you know, I had some, you know, friends in China who said, "Oh, poor Michael, you know, I better send him some Bitcoin."
Right, which is damaging to your reputation, right? I mean, if you're out there in the world, people are.
It's your digital identity, so it's not
sure.
just your crypto, it's your Facebook, it's your, you know, and again, after this I spent weeks, and I thought I already had pretty good security. I mean, all my major assets are like treasures and ledgers in bank vaults, you know, so, but, you know, I've launched over 110 now ICOs, worked with over 200 digital currencies, and you know, I sometimes get paid in those currencies, and sometimes they're in staking wallets, so those actually have to be online. You just keep the passwords and the passcodes in password protected files.
That's right.
But there are little trails that are left if you're opening the file, and somebody, if someone gets the permission because of your digital identity, go in and snoop around and look for fragments or look for hidden files. I mean, they should not be allowed to do that without your permission, and that's really what this is about. So in the case of January, I didn't even think I lost anything. This was about an hour and a half that I went down. It was actually 10 minutes. My wife called AT&T and said, suspend the account, and all of a sudden we found out it was still on. Called the second time, and during the time between the first time they said it was shut down and the second time it actually was, the gang was able to go in and get into a hidden file, and was able to then get into native wallet and take $22.5 million worth of cryptocurrency.
Oh, wow.
Now, the reason it was 22.5 million was this was literally the day of the altcoin moon. It was the day that, January 7th, the day that everything was worth 800 million. I had personally gotten into that particular cryptocurrency under a penny, but the law is it's the date that it's stolen, and the gang was able to actually liquidate all that money through Binance.
Right, it sounds like it was organized crime, basically.
It was absolutely organized crime. They had 5 people that had fake passports.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, yeah, so that's a big problem. So I'm glad that you're taking charge, and hopefully all the systems will change, because if any low-level employee can swap over your SIM or jack your SIM, as you said, then that's terrible. And I've even tested the system sometimes myself, and they're very lenient on the phone. You know, you can guess and check a few times, and
they shouldn't be. They should be like a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. So, tell us a little bit about Puerto Rico, because we know that you're big there. There's a lot going on. There's tax incentives. It's beautiful. Tell us why you love it and how we can get involved there.
Sure. So, I was the first person to move from the crypto industry in early 2016. I did because, you know, I moved from, you know, I mean, I pay my taxes that are due, but, you know, I try to obviously do strategies that make them less. I'm not a particular fan of the government knowing how better to spend money than me. So I moved to Nevada. Thank you.
That's great.
Play this one. They're all kind of like wasteful. So I moved to Nevada. I'm sorry, I thought I had that off.
It's okay, he's not getting hacked.
I'm not getting hacked. There's somebody calling me. I will turn my phone off. I thought I already had it off. But I thought that so I moved to Nevada right before I sold MarketWire, because I ended up saving 40% on taxes by being in Nevada versus California. At the time I had 10% state tax and 15% long-term capital gain. With all the early cryptocurrencies that I launched when they started trading in early, late 2015, early 2016, I looked and told my wife, we're going to pay a lot of federal tax, especially if we sell anything in under a year, or we can move to Puerto Rico. And we were sitting in Hawaii at the time. I said, weather's like this. And she's like, isn't it like West Side Story? And you know, 'cause a lot of times that's all people know. And then you go there and you find it's a beautiful Caribbean island, really wonderful, warm people. And they have this unique tax incentive called Act 20 and Act 22, which, by the way, is is in danger right now. There's actually, this week, there are some efforts to go and either eliminate it for people in crypto or just eliminate it altogether. And I have no idea why somebody would want to take something that's literally creating about 35% of the jobs on the island and just simply say, geez, these people should be paying full taxes, because no one's going to come up for full
That
taxes.
seems counterintuitive, and Microsoft has been doing it for a long time now.
That's correct. Microsoft is under a program for Software Tax 73, where they have 10 employees and they pay 0 IRS tax on all their cloud services, which are basically every copy of Microsoft Office. They pay 0 to the IRS. They pay 4% in Puerto Rico, and they employ hundreds and hundreds of high-quality jobs in Puerto Rico.
Amazing.
And, you know, I mean, it's the IRS who should be complaining that Puerto Rico.
Right, exactly. Well, you know, I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. I'd like to get involved with Puerto Rico myself, so I know you spend a lot of time in LA. That's where we hang out at Blockchain Beach, so come pay us a visit there. And big round of applause for Michael Terpin today. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate your time. Any final words for the audience?
No, just I'm sort of on the scene around, and I'm at Michael Terpin on Twitter, and coinagenda.com is some of the stuff that I do, and we'll have some things coming up around CES, and our Puerto Rico event is in early March. Doesn't have the correct date on there yet. It's probably March 1st to 3rd. Come on down and see what Puerto Rico is all about.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.